Hey everybody, Dr. Venus, Opal Reese here. I hope you can hear me. Happy sleeping, so I'm trying to be a little bit on the hush side. He's adorable. He got his hair cut. Still cute. It's late. It is me. At least it is for me. And I've been thinking about you all day. Been really being with our current situation. I want to talk to you about it. But I want to talk to you about a very specific aspect of this particular moment in time, okay? Regarding coronavirus. You know, I just want you to know on GP alone, when they said corona, I thought they were talking about beers, so forgive me for my sins, okay? Coronavirus, corona beer, like not helping at all. My point is this. I wanted to, thank you for the thumbs up. I probably should got some water. I'm going to be here for a few minutes. I got some things to say. And for all my truth tellers, get ready to document. You know, just to scribe for me so that people come through, they can catch it. Okay. For those who are new to me, I'm Dr. Venus, Opal Reese, and I'm just trying to see how I may say all that. The simple route is I went from living on the streets of Baltimore, Maryland, to Stanford Ph.D. to Black Woman Millionaire, okay? And I have a sweet spot specifically for purpose-driven Black women entrepreneurs who've gone through some things and bear the scars. Really teaching them how to break their first million on their own terms, okay? And I have a diverse roster, but my heart is, I roll hard with my sisters, right? So, I've done $5 million in 6 years with no investors, no loans, no government funding. So I'm a savage when it comes to money, okay? Cash money, right? So that's what I'm known for. And the way that I do that is healing historical wounds and cultural traumas, all right? So everything I'm ever going to point to is always going to come back to healing some shit, okay? You should know I curse, cry, and pray sometimes in the same breath. And I'm bound to break, bound to say what's on my, speak truth to power and let it go to work. So if you're easily offended, leave now. If you're not inclusive, go away. And if you're judgmental, you're going to hate me. So let me just help you now. Be like, you know what? I'm not your cup of tea, deuces. All right? Let's get it over with. So I can go talk freely to my people. All right? I think I got all that out the way. Let me see if there's anything else. Feel free, and I encourage you to tag people and share this video so we can reach the world and have people feel better and not be stuck being in fear about other people's concerns. All right? I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to say. Well, I think that's it. I think we got enough in. Okay. I want to talk to you for a few minutes. I'm just trying to see how to enter. I want to talk to you about fear. Let's just go there. Let's just start some shit up. Let's go ahead and talk about fear, okay? Now, I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes this morning. He did this whole sermon in an empty church, okay? He just had a handful of staff there because he had been advised, along with, I believe, all mega churches, to not have service because of the virus, right? And for safety, for health reasons, okay? And he honored that request, and he still did his thing. It was glorious. I'm gonna have to find it and post it because it was just that badass. But the thing that he was pointing to was he was making this parallel structure between the Israelites going through the wilderness, being attacked by the Canaanites, okay, and then having to deal with snakes, and paralleling that with the coronavirus, with the fires in Australia, with the stuff going down in Japan, China, just world events that are all happening at the same time. And he was stating that we have lost our way, right? And he did it, he's so exquisite with it. His word is strong. So I'm paraphrasing poorly, but it was dope as fuck, right? Anyway, he said some things. He said a lot, But the thing that struck me the most, which I want to bring to us, to my truth tellers, is this. He said, be careful about killing hope. Because when you take us out, he was talking about the church, when you take us out, you take hope out. And hope is the bridge to wellness. And I thought about it for a few seconds. And I was like, you know what? Have you ever noticed that whenever hope dies, life gets dark? Look in your own life. Have you ever noticed that when hope dies, everything goes gray? It's I know in my life, when I become hopeless, I become vulnerable to other people's energetic virus. Do you know what I'm saying? Their fear. It gets in my body. It gets in my bones. You know what I'm saying? I can feel it crawling through my flesh. And I become susceptible when I've been around negative people, or I've been in a negative conversation or low vibration, right? And so I want to pose this to you for a number of reasons. One, because I think that I have one of my clients. She's a doctor. She's a spiritual physician, Dr. Andrea Perez, and she's brilliant. And she was just talking about it from a doctor's perspective, and she's a Yoruba priestess, which I think is dope. But she was talking about how a pandemic is not about the violence of a disease as much as the widespreadness of the knowledge of it, right? And I didn't have that distinction. But what I was pointing to when I was listening to Ph.D. Jakes this morning, he was talking about hope, was that if you look at any time in human history, when hope dies, people lose their minds, okay? So if you think about when Dr. King was dead, or when President Kennedy got shot, or Tupac, or Nipsey, like if you just look at the people who brought hope to us, and when they die, the world gets dark, right? What I'm thinking through is, what if the coronavirus is really spiritual warfare at the level of globe? What if we're having global spiritual fucking warfare? Do you understand? I was like, if you could just really be with energetically in your own lived experience, if you just check up on it, how you feel when something is negative and how you kind of take it on, or somehow you just have to dance with it, or integrate you, or you have to leave it. You have to leave the room, leave the conversation, leave the building, leave the family, the relationship. And if you look at the last time we had hope in terms of leadership was God help me. We had hope as a culture, right? The end of the second term of President Obama's presidency. After that, the world went dark. Okay? In terms of trafficking in something that was good. Do you see what I'm saying? Trafficking is something that gave us a glimmer of possibility to look forward to. I'm not suggesting perfection. What I'm pointing to is hope, the power of hope. If you think about our ancestors, okay, and I'm thinking African, but we can go Jewish, we can go Irish, we can go any kind of way you want to flow, right? Our ancestors had hope. They had hope for a better day. They had hope for a new future for their children's children. It was hope that prayed us through. And then inside of that hope, we came up with solutions that we couldn't have any other way. That's spiritual warfare if I've ever seen it. You know, hey, babe, how you doing? You see what I'm saying? And so it's something I'm really contending with, is that because the coronavirus is not the plague. You know, I'm going to tell you, it's not AIDS. If all I have to do is wash my fucking hands for 20 seconds, okay, and sneeze into a handkerchief or a Kleenex, that's not the same as a blood transfusion. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not making light of people who have died from the virus, all right? But 5,000 is not 5 million. And if we think about how many people have died from cancer, from, oh God, from diabetes, from chickenpox, from measles, if we had the same level of, I wouldn't say, attention on viruses that we live with on a daily basis, they would have been eradicated by now. You see what I'm saying? So it's something I want you to start noticing, that the media, and I'm part of the media, be clear, okay? Thank you for the hearts. The news doesn't tell you what to think. It tells you what to think about. That was word, Lord. That was preach. That was so deep. I'm going to try it again. I don't think they caught me. I don't think they heard me. The media doesn't tell you what to think. It tells you what to think about. Okay? So whatever gets the highest hits, that gets the most response, gets louder and louder and louder. And the louder it gets, the more real it seems. Do you understand? It's like, oh, if you hear it enough times, it must be good. All right? If you see it enough times, it must be true. That's not the case. A concern is not the truth. But if you get enough agreement or reality around it, it occurs as true, so it becomes true. I hope you'll track that. If you see something enough times, it becomes true, even if it's not true. If you see enough black men robbing a liquor store, you start to think that all black men rob, when it's not the truth. It's just what you've been taught to see, right? So I think the virus is very real. I don't think it's fake news and all the stuff that people want to make up stuff about. God bless us, all right? What I'm pointing to is spiritual warfare. One of the things that T.D. Jakes was saying in his sermon this morning was how humbling it is for people, the one percenters, to contend with, there's a reckoning when, over time, when you ignore God, right? I just thought it was cool. I really can't even recreate what he said. But what I loved about it was he was pointing to that this particular moment in time has unified people and leveled the playing field, right? And I think that that's what normally happens that's what happens with national disasters, Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, Kosovo, Rwanda. It brings people together, okay? Spiritually, I always wonder about God. Well, okay, God, I know you're doing some things. What you're doing, I see you, God. I got my eye on you. What I'm interested in for you is you not being energetically polluted by the angle with which you receive information, okay? Because headlines are designed to scream. As a marketer, I will tell you, headlines are designed to scream. They're designed to make you click. They're designed to make you look. And then when you read, you start to see that it's all speculation. At least most of it is. But because you're triggered, you don't see speculation. It lands as truth. So then you go buy up a bunch of toilet paper or a bunch of, canned goods because you're afraid. Okay? I understand it. But that means you've been energetically hijacked by other people's concerns. Okay? My point is this. I trust God with my life. I do. I'm a God girl, y'all. I'm forever, ever on man. Me and God gonna be rolling hard in the paint until I die. I just think God is the best thing since pockets. And I'm discerning enough. I'm an educated consumer, right? To discern information from propaganda, right? What I mean by that is, if you listen to how things are spoken, you can hear is speculation, meaning they don't have all the information, right? And I'm not talking about the blame game. I don't really care about that. What I want is I want you well and I want you winning. I can't have you winning if you're panicking, because you're hearing this and that. And you say, they shut down the NBA. Yeah, they did. That's not bad. That's called responsibility, right? If some people aren't going to be responsible, they're not going to sneeze in a napkin, they're not going to wash their hands. So those are precautions that are appropriate while they sort out how to take care of us. But that doesn't equal that you should be afraid of the apocalypse. You don't have, like, how can I say this? God help me. I'm going to say it different. That's a little cleaner, okay? If you think about the national and international conversations we traffic in, and if you think about, what I call it a sufficient condition. That's just my language, right? That you can have things show up when you have a condition for it, okay? So since this current presidency, we've been trafficking in a lot of negativity in terms of words and language and things, okay? So it's not a far cry for something like this to get turned into a major concern by virtue of the precondition in which it was fostered. I'm talking in terms of energy, okay? I'm talking about spiritual warfare. I'm not talking about politics. And I know that may be hard to hear, but try, okay? Whatever you listen to the most is what you will see the most. The way the brain is wired, it can only see what it's looking for. So it's sort of like when you buy a car and you get a little red bug car, and your red bug car, and all of a sudden you start seeing red bug cars all over the place because now your eye is tuned into that, right? Or let's say you listen to a song, you start listening to that song, you start hearing the words all over the place. That's the nature of human beings. That's literally how we're wired. We're wired to see what we're looking for, all right? And most people aren't trained to know that they're wired to see what they're looking for. So when you have the media, and I'm part of it, hallelujah, okay, learn how to tell stories so that your eye is designed to look for something, you're going to see more of that. That's called marketing, okay? That's called branding. In some places, they wouldn't call that sales. Depends on who you talk to, right? So the more you hear people being talked bad about, or negativity, or bullying, or name calling and name bashing, that's malicious intent. I'm not talking about reappropriation. Okay, I'm not talking about that. So don't mix my words. All right, I'm talking about purposely cutting people down, and it being okay. Okay, you get enough of that going, you create a sufficient condition for a panic. You create a sufficient condition for people to jump right to xenophobia, to jump right to fear, to jump right to It jumps. It literally becomes a virus. And it pollutes the very air that we breathe energetically. Okay? So if you look at what the climate that we've been living in the world, specifically in North America, under this presidency, and I'm not suggesting it's a person, I'm talking about an ethos. Okay? I have some theories. What's been dying, this is it, thank you God, I caught it, okay? What's been dying in this presidency is hope. That's what's been being killed off is hope. That is what's been murdered is hope. And this is the thing about hope. Hope is the bridge to creativity. Hope is the bridge to solutions. It's amazing how much, if you think about your own life, how creative you get when you get hopeful. It's like when you're in love with somebody, you start coming up with real great ways to think, to dress. You start getting real creative with your clothes. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was funny, but hope. It sounds like such a simple word, doesn't it? It sounds like such a simple idea, but hope has light in it. It has potentiality. It has possibility inside of it. It has magic in it. And in that magic, anything can be created. It's what our ancestors did. That's how they got us through. Generations of oppression was through hope. That's how we got in school and got from the back of the bus. You know what I'm saying? Generation after generation, decade after decade of hope. Okay? Remember the hope. Remember the hope. It sounds like, I know it can sound airy-fairy. I know. But spiritually, the fight is in the spirit. It's not in the flesh. It never has been. Ever. All right? And if you don't protect your mental, if you don't protect your temple, if you don't protect your emotional, you'll get sucked into a spiral of negativity that will have you want to cut your fucking wrists because it looks like the world is falling apart. It's not falling apart. It's coming together. And what is actually falling apart is all of the systems that were in place that oppressed people in ways they didn't realize they were oppressed. Okay? So it's an energetic freeing. It's an energetic fight. And the way that you fight is not with... in my worldview, I don't believe in fighting the flesh because I don't think the flesh counts. I think the flesh is dead. It's just the opportunity for us to see where we are spiritually. That's what I think. The real fight is doing what our ancestors did. Is to see what was possible and move toward that. Get the information. Wash your hands. You see what I'm saying? Wash your hands. Take care of your peeps. You know what I'm saying? Do everything that's appropriate that we know in terms of the health factor. Absolutely. But keep in mind, if the coronavirus can be taken care of by washing your hands and covering your mouth when you sneeze, it is not fucking cancer. Okay? It's not AIDS. It is not tuberculosis. It is not diabetes. Washing your hands and singing happy birthday twice is not the same as being on dialysis. And you need to get some fucking perspective. You need to get perspective. Otherwise, you'll keep listening and reading and get caught up in a panic that isn't accurate. It's not accurate. And if you don't catch that and you just listen and read, you're going to turn into a lemming and drive yourself crazy. Okay? And you don't have to. There's enough information being put out there about how to be responsible, how to take care of yourself, so that you and the ones you love, by being a wonderful citizen that isn't about, okay, I need to hate, all this crazy stuff that's not necessary. Okay? Oh, I love that, Shayla. Move towards the light. That's nicely put. It's a real word. Okay? It's a real word. And I'm encouraging you to think of it in terms of spirit, not flesh. Where's your mind at? Are you dwelling on what's good, or are you dwelling on what's bad? Are you preparing for the worst, or are you creating for what's best or what's better? Are you trusting spirit? Are you speaking to the highest absolute best inside of you and other people? Or are you pointing the finger and passing judgment as if that makes any difference in any context? You know what I'm saying? So it really is an energetic fight. And I think TDJ said it best, don't kill off hope. Okay? Don't kill off hope. Hope heals. Okay? So that's it. That's all I wanted to put out today. I love you with my whole heart. Happy and I are doing great. Let me show you little baby. Hold on, let me show you Happy. Where is he? There he goes. He got a little haircut. He's doing his happy thing. Sleeping. With LA is good to us. We're getting used to it. I'm a little tired. Back in bed, but it's okay. It's okay. I just haven't figured out. I'm still learning where I live. But I'm making some friends, and it's moving forward, and all is well. So my prayer for you is to dwell in what's possible energetically. Feed yourself good stuff. Don't feed yourself energetic junk food. You know what I'm saying? And don't let their energetic virus jump into your spirit, into your flesh. Get in reality about what you need to do to take care of you. Okay? And it's not hard. Okay? It's not hard. It's conscious. It's conscious. But it's quite doable. Okay? So that's all for now. I love you. I thank God for you. Thank you for listening to my word. Thank you for sharing this word. If you were fed by this word, please pay it forward. People will probably need to know that spiritual warfare can be done internally, okay? And I would love for them to be able to not stroke out because we're going through a moment. This is a season. Seasons change, okay? But you can help yourself out by focusing on hope, okay? It sounds basic, but it makes a difference, okay? I love you. I thank God for you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll be doing a Hot Mess Millionaire live tomorrow night. Okay? Talk to you soon. Please share this video. Goodbye for now.